Kia ora whanau. So I'm just sharing further about my research into what I believe is that I have neural interface implants put into me. I've actually viewed a few YouTube videos in the past about Americans, like hundreds of Americans who had made complaints that they believed that they had, they were hearing voices and they believed that they had microchips put in them and stuff like that, but they just couldn't approve it. So this is, to my knowledge, I'm the only one coming from Aotearoa who has really had any of these types of complaints. And it's not easy to prove actually, but I do have x-ray results now which to me indicate that there is something there. So recently I showed my dentist, because I thought it was a dentist thing, that I had an implant put in through a dentist. But he's saying that it's not actually a dental problem, that the implant, it must have been like as a result of a broken jaw or something as a child. So I don't know whether that's true or not, but it's way back from the this implant, whatever it is back from the teeth. So now I have got to try and look at, I don't know if I can get, when they were like planning these people, they obviously thought about, what in the future, and they made sure that it wasn't going to affect any governments, having to pay out. So I don't actually know what type of compensation other than the Human Rights Tribunal that we can get. The Human Rights Review Tribunal pay up to 350 grand, but if you're having a lawyer represent you, then by the time, the lawyer's fees and all that come out, a Crown lawyer, of course, then you're left with bugger all. You'd be lucky to probably end up with 80k. So, in my case, I've just decided to sort of like opt for representing myself, because I don't trust any lawyers, to be honest, after everything I've been through with this fight. Just representing it myself. Oh, that's a lot of research. I've had to go right back into my medical files, like drug and alcohol records, all my medical history. Even I've still got to go and try and dig up medical history going back into my childhood, because there's just, I can't even ring up on the phone and make inquiries because whoever did this to me has a tap on my phone. So whenever I'm ringing out, the phone calls are being intercepted by somebody else. And so I'm guessing that I may be, I don't know. I can make a complaint against my service provider, which is Spark, but from what I was reading from the telecommunications dispute resolutions, there's a bit in there that basically says they can't consider any complaints that are like a loss of, where is that paper? Loss of business reputation, loss of profits, grievances of mental health. It's just bullshit, what I actually have read about this. I don't know where I put it. All my papers and stuff. Where is it? I had the booklet here somewhere. I'll have a look and see if I can find it. Just wait a minute. No, I think it's here. Disappeared. Fuck. This is another thing too. I go out and like people come into my room and they go through all my stuff and it's just bullshit, eh? No, that one's disappeared too. Hang on, I might find it in this. Yeah, but basically, it pretty much says that I can't, they can't consider claims where you've suffered, where people have actually suffered physically and mentally. So that's, really is a bit of a... They can sort of like at their own discretion offer some goodwill gestures or whatever, but I don't know. This is really unjust. So the only thing is the Human Rights Review Tribunal, which is for me, it's a bit of a little bit of something anyway, and people should be grateful to get 350 grand, but you wouldn't end up with 350 grand unless you are able to come up with a whole lot of stuff in your case, and depending on each individual, they decide on whether you get the whole payouts. So I'd be hoping I would win my case, and you've got to have everything like right too, because you can end up actually losing your case if you lose, and then having to pay the parties that you are taking to court. So you've really got to be quite thorough in your research and stuff, and it means having to go and purchase the right law books so that you can study the laws and stuff, and you've really got to have everything before you put in your submissions and you'll make your applications to the to the courts and stuff like that, because you've got like a certain time limits, so it pays to have everything good to go, before you make your applications to the courts and start that process, those court proceedings. So I'll tell you, if anybody's watching and you're interested in this Human Rights Review Tribunal claims, and I know there's probably a lot of gang members out there who will need their wahine, the women, to help them and getting educated and doing courses. So for those of you who are around the motu, we have Te Wānanga or Aotearoa. I suggest, go and do computer courses and your social work. They've got like an introductory to social work, and they've also got business courses. The business courses are okay. They're usually once a week at night, and then all the homework is up to you. So it really pays to have, get that education if you can. You will need a laptop. You've got to have all the resources to do these courses. I mean, you can come into the Wānanga and you can go to the local library if you don't have a computer or you can't afford one, or just find where, maybe you could apply to your iwi for a special, and every iwi is different, but here, if we have a special request, we can sort of like put in writing to the CEO, I'm studying, and the reasons why you need to study and why you need your computer, and that they may consider getting you a computer. Otherwise, another course is Te Wānanga or Raukawa, which are really good courses. There are a lot of kaupapa Māori courses there too. It's more so because you have to attend 4 times Huiru Makureo, which is total immersion for 1 week. So you look at their courses as well, because with that comes your course-related costs of $1,000, so that you'll be able to get a good computer with that. Get a PC, not a laptop, is better. And they do have some good ones, so that you can look at warehouse stationery or whatever is available in your town. So there's another option for you, whānau. But yeah, and so to purchase your law books, you would be looking at get in contact with Legislation Direct. I'll look up on my phone now. That's where I purchased all my law books. So you can ring them, leave a message and send an email. They're not there every day, but they will respond to you eventually. And they have all the latest, amended or reprints of the latest copies of the law, because they change every year. So, Hang on, I'll look it up for you now. 7254, shit. Legislation direct, where is it? Yeah, so the 350k is just a bit of an apology as far as I'm concerned. There's far more than that needs to come tribally as a nation, and I'm sort of like starting to work on our. So I got the dick around and the run around with the bank, my bank, getting a bank account open. So I for now I've just got to go. Public Trust won't jump on board as trustees for our charitable trust. So I've found another trustee to replace the existing trustee, which was my brother. He never wanted to do it in the first place. I just practically begged him to help me to get the ball rolling, so we did that. But now I've found somebody else, which is good. And we will just establish our trust, get the bank account happening. At the moment, I'm just doing mahi aroha for, in seasonal work, and that money is going into the trust. It gives me something to do, gets me out of the house, helps to keep fit, and that money will just go into that bank account. So my boss's wife, I'm hoping, will do the accounting for that, and I'll just collect it'll get paid out at the end of the season, at the end of the shearing season, and she'll do all the tax and everything for us. So I've got to go and reopen my GST account and stuff like that. And yeah, well, I'm using the money for that to put back into getting more resources and stuff to work on, this national strategy for a tribal authority. Yeah, I'll do that, keep plodding away. But legislation direct is on 33 Jackson Street, Petone. The number hang on. The phone number there is 0456800225. Okay, again, that's 0456800225. Okay, so that's legislation direct. That's where you want to get all your law books and everything. So the law books that I've got so far, the Turi Whenua Act, that's a very important act to have. I've got the what have I got? I've got also the Sentencing Act, 2000, and hang on, I'll show you. Turn these lights on, it's getting dark. And there's just a whole pile more law acts that I need to get. So I've got a printout of the Guide to the Practice and Procedure of the Waitangi Tribunal, which is this. You can see that there. Yeah, so there's that. I've got a copy of, now if you're having suspecting that you're also got these neural interface implants, which a lot of us Māori have, and I told you how they've been getting away with the human cloning, which started in World War II, and it came from the Nazis. And it's how they've been getting away with all this fraud and forgery over our lands, and how our lands have been getting sold off because they've actually been swapping our people over. Now, I've spoken to whānau about this who believe what I'm saying, but their thing is that we don't have the evidence. Well, yes, we do have the evidence. The evidence is in the whānau who want to speak out. Some of them have been with us for years and they haven't spoken out. They've been, living that lie. But honestly, there is a need for our people to start speaking out. Otherwise, this racism thing is only going to get worse. And then we're going to find out that we're having incidents like what they've had in America with, Black Lives Matter, African American people getting shot. In Australian Aboriginals, the same thing. The way they've been treating Aboriginal children, teenagers and that over there, the cops. So, it won't be too long before we're having to put up with that kind of behaviour in New Zealand if we don't do something about it. So, the Turi Whenua Act, Search and Surveillance Act. I've got the Telecommunications and Interception Capability and Security Act 2013. Turi Whenua Act Māori Act 1993. And then I've got, oh, there's some missing. Oh, there's something missing. The Sentencing Act, I've got one missing. One's missing. Where's, someone's gone through my stuff. Fuck's sakes. Excuse my language. So, the Sentencing Act 2002. And I've got the Māori Affairs Amendment Act 19, I don't know what's the year on this, but I've got the Privacy Act is missing. The Privacy Act is missing. Where is it gone? I printed that one off the internet. And I've still got credit. Hang on, I'll just have a look here, whānau. Come to think of it, actually, I think it could be in my van, which is downstairs. I'm not going all the way down there right now, but yeah. The Privacy Act 1993, I think it is that I've got in the van. Yeah. So, that's what I've got so far. And I've still got to get some more law acts. There's one about I've got them written down somewhere, of the Organised Crime Act. Some other acts that I've got written down somewhere, but I can't think right now where it is. But I'll let you know anyway. Where's my glasses? I just had them. This is what I'm meaning about the side effects of the dementia that comes with the neural interface implants that I have. Is that I'm forever forgetting things too. Losing things. I just have my glasses and I can't find them. God. Yeah, so I just thought I would here they are. Oh. Yeah, I just wanted to share that with you guys. That there's a lot to look into, and I'll tell you the sort of things that I am having to look into. Just a minute. That I had to gather for my claim. Alright, how do I turn this camera around? Oh, I can't turn it around. So anyway, you can see here, like this is all full of, I've got, what have I got here? I'll show you. So I've got all my requests about hoi's that I've attended and emails and stuff that I've been sending to my iwi in regards to housing, which has been 5 years now. I've got Motorland Court applications there. Those are just the applications that you need to make to the Motorland Court when you're ready to do your case. So my thing is to gather our whānau nationwide. I've got probably around about a good 100 or maybe a couple of hundred, I'm not sure, of email addresses that were forwarded on to me through my Waitangi lawyer of whānau and lawyers dealing with existing Waitangi Tribunal claims. So at some stage I'll make a start on contacting them, or just do up a pānui of, gathering the mene whānau and speaking to them about, us doing our tribal authority, which, the funding can actually go out to all the other tribes, but it starts from Te Atiawa because of our connection to Hirota and our history of that trading authority that we had under King Henry VIII Charter. So, yeah, I'll be doing that, getting a hold of all the whānau there, and letting whānau know to, if you haven't got a Waitangi Tribunal claim, gangs in their families, the homeless, our mental health people, te mea, then get along to a Waitangi lawyer and find yourself a good lawyer and start making your claim. Or actually I'll be gathering more whānau to see if they're interested to register up. And I've no doubt that, once the word gets out and our different whānau in the different areas will hui it out, and then look at establishing one sovereign tribal authority to which our funding can be funded and not having to, be at TPK or the government all the time for funding all the time. It can actually come through our own thing. So, what else we got? Oh, I've labelled on both sides. Whakatū incorporation. So those are all my takis about, trying to establish in the fact that they were just ignoring me. The wine company may not actually belong to the whānau, the shareholders. It may just be the land. So, okay, fair enough. But, it's just, so, yeah, I'm actually looking at... looking into all of the lands that generate pūtea, like vineyards, orchards, and sheep and beef farming, because this is going to be how our money is generated. And looking into the history of every landowner, how long they've actually been owners for. Obviously, if it's been in ownership in the last 100 years, then, they must be, legitimate. But if it's changed hands, then we could probably say that a lot of our lands were getting sold off through the fraud and the forgery of human cloning that have been going on since World War II. Actually, before World War II, they were doing that. And I know Pākehā people who have been victims of this also, so it's not just about Māori, But I'm really interested in to see how the Crown were why the Crown was selling off Crown lands when you think that they would have been, maybe they got into debt. I don't know, really. I've never been into this whole government thing. It's not my thing. I only ever wanted to be a film script writer, but look what I'm having to do. Other papers. There's just so much here, the Waitangi Tribunal and my how I got hoha. I like my lawyer. Seems like a really nice man, but I just think that he's possibly a victim of slavery himself, because he's got some corporate bullies, corporate gangsters behind him telling him what to do, and that's what I think. So that's why I pulled out of my existing claim, and I've decided to take this on myself, so which means I've got to study law and stuff like that, and watch a lot of law videos. So I've been watching the Waitangi Tribunal claim. So if you're looking at doing that yourself, whānau, I've posted up some Waitangi Tribunal claim videos to my page, so just have a look at those. They go for a long time, but yeah, it's good if you're not got anything to do and you've got free Wi-Fi to watch those videos, to give you an idea of what's like in the court, in the law sort of a tribunal. Okay. So what else? Yeah, the Waitangi Tribunal. Ministry of Social Development, Housing New Zealand. So all my Housing New Zealand history, because I actually realised that no matter where I went as a victim of this illegal slave trade that's been running, and it's illegal because of what they're doing to humans and the inhumane things that they are doing to people who are imprisoned and have been abducted, is illegal. So I'm talking about the history of NZ. I realised that, people had been organised into my circle going back many places, so this is how they move people on, and they do this and they do that, and they're controlling in that way. So it wasn't just the grievances of being implanted with this neural interface technology, but it was also the grievance of the secret society that came with it. Okay, what else? Official Information Act request. So you can apply for things under the Official Information Act. If they're not helping you with that, then you take it higher, like to the Commissioner of the Health and Disabilities. If you've got medical files that are missing, you've really got to go back into your history and try and remember a lot of things. So just for example here, I've got a note that I sent to the Nelson Marlborough District Health Board under the privacy request, and I got a response from them that says, "Hi, hello Emily, please find attached the requested information also. Please note some radiology reports were requisitioned by a third party, i.e. GP, and we are not allowed to release these. So it's important that I get this information for my claim with the Human Rights Review Tribunal. So I've got to now ask for that information under the Official Information Act. Okay, so that's what that is. And like, what else have I got? Respite. So I have complaints about, which I'm still waiting to hear from Gateway Housing Trust of racism. I was a peer support worker for our local mental health place that we have here in Marlborough for people who suffer of tangata whai ora, and we had staff training. I missed the first session. On the second session I turned up, but it was my first and last session, because all of those women that turned up were all racist. The facilitator of the group was racist. I had to sit there, and they wanted to do like a group exercise of talking about, and the facilitator led the conversation by bringing up the fact that she felt privileged to be a white woman, and then they all started on this subject, and it was just like, oh my God, I'm sitting here listening to these ballheads talk shit, and I couldn't believe it, hey? Plus the fact that at smoko time, I just walked out, went inside, didn't want to talk to any of them, like it was just sarcasm the whole way throughout the day. As I was coming out to go back into class, after smoko finished, I was called a nigger by the manager of the of our local respite in Blenheim. So, and then they were sort of taking, the group was sort of taking the piss out of me because of the way I was dressed. I mean, I was wearing a shirt and I was wearing my glasses and everything like that, and some of them were just wearing tracksuit pants and stuff, and, each to their own, eh? So it's like, oh, well, who's this nigger trying to be over us? She's a black bitch. And that's what we're having to put up with in the South Island whānau. Even looking like this with hair and makeup and shit. That's why a lot of our rangatahi are wearing false eyelashes and nails and all this other crap. Because we're sort of, we're being made to feel like pigs if we don't look that way. For a lot of people that, this is the way things are growing in our communities here. So there's a need for us to establish a safe place for our people where we're not having to put up with that crap. So what else have I got? That was my whole life idea, was that, one day we'll have enough pūtea and we'll be able to purchase a house, and gift it for the purpose of a respite for our Māori people. There was an Italian lady who started working at the respite. I made a complaint. I kept the glass. I found she put glass in my food, a splint of glass that I found from a broken bottle. I kept that and gave it to the manager, who's actually the lady that called me a nigger on this day of training for our peer support workers. She didn't make a note of my complaint. And I had all sorts of threats. I knew that she had come out of this camp where they've been keeping people imprisoned, wherever these camps are, detention camps, these hidden detention camps that they have. So, oh, man. That was my idea of thinking, one day we're going to have enough money and we will purchase our own property and we'll gift that for the purpose of a respite, where our people don't have to put up with this racist bullshit. So that's the way it is for us, for the Māori nation now. Things are only going to grow and get worse if we don't establish our own sovereign authority and get that pūtea coming in. And I've already made suggestions on how that can be done, given the history of our history and our whakapapa, and doing that under the 4th article of Te Tiriti or Waitangi, which wasn't actually an official document. But it's been happening. It's been happening, and not just here, in a lot of places around the country. It's just that it's been kept quiet on the sly, for people that are working in with the government, who actually claim to be the government or the beast, so to speak. It's just that it's been led and it's been run by the Pākehā, and Māori haven't been able to manage their own affairs. You know, our Māori people are not able to get educated. Our ones who have been implanted with this microchip technology of neural interface and other things, which is also a breach of Te Tiriti or Waitangi. So we have all these grievances to bring up whānau. Now just turn this folder around and I can show you what else. Te Atiawa. So I've got the public trust and just a few things about them, you know, turning me down. They reckon they're not able to take on our charitable trust or be as trustees. So I've got the infringement notice request. I've got grievances with the police, and the charities register. They sort of dicked me around for a bit of a time, but I've got grievances with Spark, because of my phone interception. Somebody's obviously, I've actually already sent an email to asking if they have information on anybody who has had an interception warrants. You know, so I mean, I've got grievances with Ministry of Social Development. Now, I've rang them about 9 or 10 times in the last 2 weeks, and every time, now I can get a printout of the phone call conversations from Spark, detailing the dates, times that I made the calls and the conversations. So I'm going to be doing that on Monday, as well as ringing up every day now. But I've rung up asking Kāinga Order to get the area managers to get in contact with me, please, so we can arrange to have a hui with all our local Māori and some of our Pākehā people who are also homeless, to address the situation of homelessness, because they've got new homes going up, and our people want to feel safe, to be all housed in the same block of new homes that are going up, because what's been happening is that they'll place our people somewhere, but there'll be, you know, there might be, say, one normal person or one Māori who is housed around, you know, a whole lot of shady people who basically have been organised into that area, and so that one person or that one Māori is made to feel like they don't want to stay there, and they end up moving out or giving up their homes. And this is what's been happening with our people, even in motels. So that's been happening with me. One of the tactics that they've been using is they've been using my ex-boyfriend and using, you know, like girls, to bringing them around into these motels. Some of them I've had like hookers walking past my, you know, walking past in high heel shoes and stuff like that in the middle of the night, and just doing shit like that to try and make me want to move on. So, yeah, we've got a lot of grievances, whānau, and this is what I'm putting out there to you guys. So, yeah, I'll just leave it there. It's been half an hour, so I won't talk too much longer. I'll call it a night now on the phone and carry on with my research. So I hope this information comes in handy for all our whānau out there who have grievances with homelessness and health issues from your health providers and stuff like that. From my own personal experiences, you know, just because it's a Māori organisation, I mean, I've got grievances with Māori Women's Refuge going back to when one of my ex-boyfriends, when I got bashed up by him, and I was actually a gang prospect back then for the Black Power. But yeah, I have grievances, you know, with Māori organisations too, and that's because a lot of our people have been corrupted, and they're working within these organisations. So, you know, grievances everywhere, whānau, of corruption amongst our own people too. So yeah, I hope this helps you all though. Okay, yeah, well, you guys have a good night, and good luck with your fellas, you know, pursuit of your making a claim and stuff like that. I will be sending the word out to our people, and yeah, about our tribal authority and our claim and registering up under that sovereign authority and stuff. So yeah, for now, whānau, he kona, pō mari e.